62-year-old bones don't like.
We just happened to meet here at the campsite, and I was admiring your tents because, first of all, they're colorful, they look very comfortable, and they're a lot bigger than mine. How did you get into making gear for backpacking?
So in 2006, I set out to hike the Appalachian Trail. I was carrying a 4.5-pound Sierra Design tent. This is 2006.
Man.
And the lightest weight tent at the time was the Hubba, and I would have dropped a pound of weight for an extra $300. And it was so small, it was like a coffin. I said, I can't do it. So my last night on the trail, I was camped near somebody who had a homemade tent. And I was like, there's something wrong with this picture. He's got this palace. It doesn't weigh anything. It folds down into nothing. I'm carrying this little tent that takes up half my backpack and weighs 4.5 pounds. And I've sewn all my life. I can sew. I can make a tent. I've even gone to design school. After I retired from nursing, I was a nurse practitioner. I went to design school. I said, I'm going to make my own tent. So long story short, I started designing this tent, and I was like, how do you get these angles have to be exact in order to make this three-dimensional thing work? And I needed a 3D CAD program. I may have a master's degree in nursing, but I don't do math, okay? And that geometry is not my thing. So I found Google SketchUp, which is a free Google 3D CAD program. It was just my speed. I had the program figured out in one day, and I started playing around with the design for the tent. And then I started making prototypes and sampling it, and I showed it to some friends, and a friend said, oh, you could make kits and sell them because hikers want to make their own gear. And I thought,
some hikers do.
Yeah, but I thought, the hell with that. I've worked so hard on this, I'm not putting my pattern out there in the public domain. Sure. I can make the whole damn tent and sell it.
Yeah, you bet.
And so that was 2009. I made 7 tents. We went to the Franklin Hiker Bash in Franklin, North Carolina, sold 3 tents, and a woman from Holland who was hiking the trail came up to me, looked at the tent, and she says, because they were all gray, she said, can you make me one in purple? And it took me a split second to say, absolutely, I'll meet you up the trail in 2 weeks with a purple tent. And I did.
Special delivery.
I met her in Hot Springs with a purple tent, and she's still using it. But at that point, I thought, oh, if people want color, I'm just doing these as one-offs. I can do whatever color anybody wants. And eventually, all this custom colors had to go by the wayside because I was going to make a few tents and go hiking. And suddenly I'm constantly making tents. And I started in my basement like many other people.
Yeah.
And a couple of years after that, we leased a space. And I hired a couple of other employees. And in December, we moved into our own factory that we built. I've got a bunch more employees and big business. And
so I meet you out here on the trail. Is this a business trip for you?
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about it. I've got my business credit card, and this gets written off every year. Yeah.
But you like to backpack too.
Absolutely.
You like to use your gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would rather be out here all the time than home making stuff, but I can't. I have a husband and a family, and and I was supposed to have been out here a week earlier, but my son decided to get married, so I had to make a wedding dress as well.
Heartfire, Judy Gross. It's really been nice talking to you. Thanks so much.
Well, thank you.